Clark.
All right, guys, we are back and we are live, and we've got Chase, and he just got done running to the gym and then working out at the gym. So he is here killing two birds with one stone. We got him, and we're going to go over some things today that we think you guys need to know. We just had a big, long discussion over the last 20-30 minutes,
about right.
trying to figure out exactly what to make sense of everything. And honestly, before we get too far into it, we don't have all that many answers. Is that what you would say?
I mean, there's still a lot of questions. Even the buyout is not. It's not going to give anybody any clarity, I think, on the big questions they all want to know.
And what big questions would those be?
How much money am I getting back, or how much crypto am I getting back? I would assume is the big question on everyone's mind.
Tell them I'm going to be doing questions.
And Joe down here, Joe P, you know, your boy, he's going to be doing questions the entire time. So if you guys have questions in the comments, please put them in the comments. We're only going to stay on here for as much as you guys have comments and what we have to say. We do have some amazing articles to go over, and another motion that Chase and I went through, or an affidavit, what would you call it?
Well, there's a motion, then the affidavit of service is just showing that they gave the guy the motion, so that's no big deal.
Okay, that went over it. Will you take that out of your face real quick so I can see you? You can just kind of, there you go. So we'll go over all that just so you guys know. I think it's worth it and worth it for you guys to see. But really, 1.4 billion for the crypto assets. Chase, what do you got to say about that, and what should we expect from this going forward? We can click over to the article here.
Well, as far as like what is that? Is it going to be something that is going to tell you guys what you're going to get back? No.
Okay.
You know, his bid, I think, is how they I guess portrayed it as 1.4 billion.
Mm-hmm.
But that bid, he's getting the 1.3 billion assets with that bid.
Yeah.
So yes, did he have to pay 1.4 billion? Yes, he did. But he already is getting 1.3 back, so he already knows that. And then he paid the additional 111 million, which in one of the articles they said was going to be for incremental growth. I take that to mean he's paying it basically to appease if crypto were to go up, saying, here, this is the money I'm going to give you in case crypto goes up.
Okay, because, well, and here's the thing is that Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX is taking the risk, though, of 1.3 billion in crypto assets, and he's giving 1.3 or 1.4 billion in actual dollars. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's taking the risk.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's just it's not as large a risk as 1.4 billion.
Okay.
Would suggest.
And now we're getting down to who's actually getting paid back and when. And I went through this yesterday. So my video from yesterday, you guys should go watch because it's very relevant for what is going on today and what got released last night. But essentially, we're the lowest people on the totem pole as unsecured creditors by far.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. You're going to be the last ones to get paid. By you, I mean all you guys watching, whoever's a customer of Voyager. There's going to be other creditors who get paid first, and how much they get paid will certainly depend on what their claims are and if they have secured loans, which we don't even know if they have secured creditors or not. I assume they probably do. They're going to get paid first, and whatever's left for you guys will be what's left.
So essentially, let's make up a hypothetical here. Three Arrows Capital has $0 left; they're completely gone in the wind, right?
Okay.
The $650 million on the balance sheet is gone. Sam Bankman-Fried is taking none of that. He wants nothing to do with that.
Correct. He's not buying any of that.
It's gone. Not touching that. Okay. He just paid an extra $100 million. That eventually the 1.3 will go back to creditors, but will get paid last. So the haircut is essentially coming from the $650 million they have lost in the balance sheet. On top of that, crypto is down right now as well. So there's a lot of things working against us getting more of a bigger percentage back unless Sam Bankman-Fried comes up with something we don't know.
Well, and the creditors who are above you guys, they have to get paid back some way too.
Yeah.
It's going to have to come from the assets he bought from Voyager because that's the only assets they have.
Yeah.
So just think if they have, let's say if they have $600 million in creditor that get paid back for you guys. So now you have the Three Arrows Capital that's gone, the $600 million that's gone. So now you have roughly $700 million to disperse between all the customers.
So question then, does that, and I know you got one too, Joe, I'll give it to you in a second. So question, so basically what that means though is that Sam Bankman-Fried is going to have to pay them back out of any creditors out of what he bought, or because Voyager just got $1.4 billion. What do they do with that?
Well, they're going to have to pay. Well, Voyager got 1.4 billion, but the assets, we're basically shifting assets here.
Yes.
Is what's going on. Now, Voyager may be able to pay, because it wouldn't make sense for them to pay their creditors out of, because either way, we're not talking about 2.8 billion.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some shifting. Now, I would like to see the legal documents to see how that's going to happen.
I see.
I don't think that this buyout means, magically there's a bunch of money and everybody's going to get paid back. I don't think that's what this means. How they're going to, I guess, structure the buyout, or I guess it would be a buyout or the sale, is going to be interesting to see. But I don't think that him coming in and offering 1.4 billion means there's now 2.8 to pay everyone back.
No, you're just switching hands. But how things are going to eventually get paid.
I think it would be we talked about it'd be me giving you have $180 and I want it. I'll get and I pay 200 for it.
Yeah.
So basically I paid $20 for it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to hand me that 180 right away. So I don't think that this buyout doesn't mean everybody's getting paid back. And that should be everybody. People are going to get paid back, but you hear them all say a lot of the contingency are, what are we going to get from Three Arrows Capital?
Yeah.
What is that 670 or 650 million? What is that going to bring back to us that we can, then dish out to all you guys?
Okay, because I'm reading it too as, does Voyager have to pay most of this back? Because the 1.3 billion eventually going back to creditors, is that just now Sam Bankman-Fried's? Like, who gives back the creditors their money?
And that I don't know yet,
because they haven't said it. To be fair,
they haven't said it. They have not said who's going to pay what back or how they're shifting this around.
Yes.
My gut instinct would tell me that Sam Bankman-Fried, he took on the creditors.
Yes.
I think he took on the creditors.
That's okay. I see.
But he didn't want the debt, as in he wasn't going to pay money to see what he could collect from Three Arrows Capital, because that would be like a collection agency. If anybody's ever had anything go to collections, like a medical bill or something like that, collection agencies probably pay 20% of that bill, and the hospitals or whoever takes that money, and then they come after you, so the hospital doesn't have to pay someone to do it. That's how collection agencies come to be. So Sam Bankman-Fried's not going to be, he doesn't want that debt, because he knows there's nothing there. So my guess is he's going to be responsible for paying these creditors back, but he just didn't want to buy any debts. He wasn't going to put any money out. If he thought Three Arrows Capital had something, he may buy the 600. He may buy the right to that debt for, let's say he says, I'll give you 40 million for my right to 650. If I don't collect any, then I'm out 40 million. But if I do collect it, I get to make the profit.
Yeah. And he's saying that he's basically going to put up the 100 million, saying hopefully people stay with me. People keep their money on their platform. I get another 3.5, 1.5, whatever million users right back on my platform. But if worst comes to worst, the most he could potentially be out is 100 million. Right? I mean, essentially, that's the worst.
Essentially, because, let's say even if he only keeps 50% of the customers, and let's say that's only 400 million of assets, or 300 million, he just bought 300 million of assets for 111 million.
Yeah,
I see. That's 100.
And he can still keep the crypto and hoping it goes up.
Sure. Yeah. Because the crypto's not your guys' assets, as we covered that.
It's his now.
All right, couple things here. Couple comments in the comment section. First off, I'm sitting on a chair. That's why I look way lower and shorter than everybody else. So, first thing is, I'm going to touch on it because I know the answer here of, what about USDC? USDC is no different than any of the other assets. So we don't know how it's going to go back. It is not USD. We've already touched on that a bunch of times. It's considered a crypto. So unfortunately, is what it is. You might get 20% back if that's what we get back. We really don't know.
Go over that article we have for that guy. That'd be a good segue.
Okay, let's go right into that then. Is that
this one?
This
right
one?
Here, yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. So a great segue into the USDC. We will go over this. What is his name again? Sahik, can you bring it a little bit bigger? So this is Sahik Taj Baba, and we went over this. Chase and I both went over this earlier, and basically he was asking for clarity on, he put a bunch of USDC in, they didn't take it out in time, then he put some in after. However, basically in the next one, if you click the next one, Joe, which is right here, Voyager is essentially telling him to go F himself. We're not giving you back anything.
They spend quite a bit of pages basically telling him, one, that, okay, your argument has no merit.
Yes.
Substantively, which means basically even if we assume everything you're saying is correct, it just doesn't have any merit, and it's just not going to work. And then secondly, they go after him procedurally because he's pro se, which means he's not represented by counsel. So they say, even if we think your argument does have any merit, well, you didn't do these things procedurally correct, so it should be dismissed anyway. And basically, it is it's a 47-page FU.
And why we bring that up and why it's important is because he was just trying to get back his USDC. He may or may not had merit, but he didn't go through the exact proper channels that, of course, their legal team, Voyager's legal team, would know. And they just told him, well, too bad, we ain't giving you nothing back.
And they basically said the way they framed their argument, because we did read through the motion, the way they framed their argument is basically, you told us to go get, this crypto for you.
Yes.
We went and got it, but then when you simultaneously by the time we went and got it, by the time you wanted it out, the freeze had already happened.
Freeze already happened, so too bad.
But if I remember right, his claim was a little different because both the transactions that he asked for occurred after the deadline.
I think you're right.
I think that's
yes.
what they're basically saying. We went and got the crypto you asked us. By the time you wanted it back, we had froze everything. So
too bad.
Too bad. So sad. You're going to be. And they said, he was asking for injunctive relief, basically without asking for it. And injunctions basically to stop someone from doing something.
I gotcha.
So that's their argument was he's asking to be treated differently than every other creditor, and their argument is he's the same as you, Joe, anybody else on the platform, and he shouldn't be treated any differently.
Also, guys, if you would for us, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Come on, like the video for us. Let's go. You got any other questions?
Yep, a couple other questions here. Actually, a really good question, and what I think we might need to do, and Chase, maybe correct me if I'm wrong here, but we almost might need to think of Voyager as FTX or as Sam Bankman-Fried moving forward, as opposed to just like this previous Voyager, because it's now different because it's been bought by Sam Bankman-Fried, right? So the question leading to that is, will we have to create an FTX account, which is a completely different platform? That answer, I'm going to assume no. I'm going to assume it's going to stay on Voyager, so don't worry about doing that.
No, it's yes.
You'll have to create an FTX account?
We're 99% sure. I read that today. Yeah, I think you actually are going to have to create an FTX account. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, guys, this is all brand new. We're coming here and we're learning just like you guys, but I'm 99% sure that I saw today through the bottoms of wherever I was reading that yes, you will have to transfer it to FTX US. So you will have to make an account, and then he will make the decision, Sam Bankman-Fried or whomever, of what you can do with those assets and those cryptos, depending on how much you get back. And then if Voyager ends up getting something back from 3 Arrows Capital, they may just send it to you via the Voyager account, via your wallet that you once had previously.
Yeah, or they'll make you do a new FTX account and they'll send it that way.
Exactly.
If there's anything at the 3 Arrows, which I wouldn't bank on there being anything there.
Correct.
But that may be. You may not see that till 5, 6, 7 years down the road.
That could be so long, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's one more. Another question is, can FTX or Voyager or Sam Bankman-Fried or whatever this new platform is, can they work out a payment plan with the creditors? Is that such a thing?
I mean, yeah, they could. I mean, creditors do. I mean, they could. Yeah. Do I think they will? I mean, not if you have 1.4 billion in assets. They're not going to want to work out a payment plan with you, because really creditors who have the secured credit, essentially they're going to say we want our money back.
Yeah.
And then you guys, the customers, are going to take the haircut on it, and if you can only divide up what's there. You can't divide zero, right? So that's going to be the problem.
Okay.
Is there a time frame?
Okay. In time frame wise, it looks like it's going to be pretty quick with what's going on, because October 19th is the basically the sale. It goes to the hearing. It goes in front of the judge to make sure everything's kosher and everything goes through. Remember, this could easily still get denied, right, Chase?
I mean,
something could still happen.
The court could deny it for sure. They could.
Yeah.
They could not like something in there, and it could be something major. It could be something minor that they just don't like.
Okay. Next up, and the next thing I have to say, Chase, is so what is going to happen if Sam Bankman-Fried says, you know what, I want to get them as whole as possible? Do you think it's even possible that they're like, you know what, keep the crypto on our in your account for a year, and boom, we're going to make you 80-90% whole as long as you keep it there for at least a year. Is that a possibility, or would that be hard to track? Is that even possible, you know?
Well, it would be possible, but I would think that would be a horrible business decision by Sam Bankman-Fried if he said he'll do that, because okay, you leave it on there for a year, let's say crypto tanks, he owes you guys all that money.
Yeah.
He's not going to
still
do
goes
that.
down further.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to take what you guys had, you know, when Voyager froze the assets and give it back, you know, with whatever they recover. I don't think they're going to make you any guarantee. Like, that would be a really bad decision if you did that.
But maybe something because you're going to open up an account, maybe be a customer of them, maybe something that way.
Now, maybe they could. I don't know. You can tell me this. Is there fees associated with doing, you know, business, transferring money?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so maybe he says, you know, if you leave it with me for your first 6 months, we won't charge you any fees.
Okay.
Something like that, but he's not going to guarantee you're going to get 80% of what you had. I mean, that would be
exactly right, because that'd put him on a. I understand that for sure.
One of the things too is I'm not sure if FTX, because I don't really use FTX, if they have leverage trading, but I know that is a massive money producer because of people over leveraging themselves and then losing, then getting liquidated, and so the actual platform makes a ton of money off of leverage trading. So that might be incentivizing of like, leave your crypto asset on here. You're probably more likely to leverage trade, and they could make the money back that way too.
I gotta ask, Chase, just because I have such a, I can't wrap my brain around it. Maybe it's just because I got wad brain right now or something. But what is Voyager doing with the 1.4 billion?
Well, I think that's a question I'm wondering myself, because I don't know how they shifted the assets.
Okay,
Like we said before, there's not like Voyager got 1.4 billion. And Sam Bankman-Fried got 1.4 billion. Now there's 2.8 billion together. That's not how it worked. So we just got to figure out how they. My guess is Voyager got 111 million.
Yeah,
That would be my guess. And then Sam Bankman-Fried took those assets with him.
Okay,
And the creditors with him.
I see what you're
He
saying.
just didn't want the debts. Basically, he's saying.
But didn't Sam Bankman-Fried pay for the crypto?
Yeah.
So he took 1.3 billion in crypto to his exchange, and I would assume that, does FTX now get 1.3 billion in just cash?
No, I think FTX gets all they're doing is shifting the crypto from Voyager to FTX.
Because they owe all that money anyways.
They
I
owe
see
the
what you're
money.
saying.
They're not giving money
Yes.
and taking the assets.
I see what
He's
you're saying.
just taking the assets.
The assets, and they're getting about 100 million.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to split that up against their freaking executives, employees.
Who knows what they're going to do with
Whoever
that?
else.
But anything they're going to do with that money is going to have to go to the court. Now
Gotcha.
this is all speculation, because we don't know what
know.
the buyout agreement says.
Yes.
But the Voyager is not sitting on $1.4 billion right now. I can guarantee you that. That's not happening.
Yeah, they're sitting on about 100 million, and that's all obviously called for too.
It was interesting in the article where they said incremental growth, which means to me he's just paying that as in case crypto goes up, I'll give you 111 million, and he's hoping it goes up, obviously. And
I see what you're saying. Okay. But as far as like any concrete things of what exactly is going to happen, we really don't know until we start getting maybe even emails from FTX.
I think that's
Basically saying, hey, listen, here's what you had on crypto. Here's what your claim said when you filed it via, Stretto or whatever, and you're in the system. Here's what I'm giving you back.
I think that's what will happen eventually. Because Voyager, really, when you have bankruptcies like this, a lot of times they want to leave that name as quickly in the dust as they can. They don't want to be the new Voyager. Everybody's got a bad taste in their mouth about Voyager. So
do you think he'll give us some FTT tokens? That's his FTX brand, obviously.
He could, and that may be a way to incentivize you to leave your money on the platform.
Yeah.
Or leave your crypto, I guess, on the platform. But even if he loses 40% of the customers, he's still winning.
For sure. Especially if crypto goes up.
If crypto goes up, he's still winning.
He's winning big time.
He probably only needs 25% of the customers to be totally up.
So it's a good business decision for him. He's buying something at such a cheap price.
Buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think going forward we really need to be looking out for? What are some main things, like when you come back on here, what are some main things everybody should be looking for in terms of getting paid back, and really what the process is like going forward, knowing we have a sale going on?
Well, first you're going to want to look for the court to approve that sale.
Mm-hmm.
I believe October 19th, and they said there was a second approval that needed to happen after that.
Yes.
So wait till the court says, yeah, this is approval. We're pushing that through. So that'll be important, one. Two, when you start seeing emails, something like, well, here's what we're going to pay back, or maybe Three Arrows Capital has offered us this to settle our debt.
Yeah.
Things like that will start to show you that maybe this is coming to a close. I think you're going to have to see Three Arrows Capital through the end, because I'm guessing they owe everybody so much money there won't be anything left.
No.
But when you start seeing, like, when Sam Bank, when he wants you to everybody switch over to his platform, then once the court approves the sale, he may open up the crypto to be, but I don't know if he'll open it up to be taken off the platform. That'll be the big thing, is when can you actually remove it?
Yeah, when can we actually take our crypto back? Well, how much are we going to get back? Is there going to be incentive to keep it on? Is he going to give us FTT tokens if we keep it on longer? Because he could say, hey, listen, I'm going to airdrop your wallet however many percentage of FTT tokens if you keep it on for the next 2 years.
I'm going to guess he's not going to allow anybody to take it off until he knows exactly how much he has to pay. Not every person. He doesn't need to know how much he needs. You and Joe, he needs to know as a pro rata share what he's going to owe, what he's going to have to give to customers. So if he knows everything's, I got $600 million to divide between these people, and then the people who had the most on there will obviously get the most back.
Gotcha.
But percentage-wise, it's going to be the same.
Okay. Joe, do we have any more questions?
Yeah. A lot of people are asking about, again, USDC. If there is a USDC wallet on FTX US, we don't have FTX US, so you do. You don't use it. Okay, so other questions is, should we create a FTX account right now? I'm going to. When I go home tonight, I'm probably just going to make one and just say, hey, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to open anything. I'm just going to have the line open to kind of explore the site a little bit and the trading platform. But our recommendation would be, why not make it? You don't have to do anything with it. Just open it up, get your password set up, everything like that. Other than that, people are digging it. I did see something that maybe this USDC keeps coming up a lot.
Yeah.
And I did read something in the motion, the objection that Voyager said to that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what USDC is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But
it's just a crypto.
That is known as a crypto.
Stablecoin.
There is no difference from that to Bitcoin to everything else.
Yes.
And that's exactly what they're saying. The motion is being treated as such. So the questions about, is it going to be treated differently? Not in Voyager's in Voyager's I guess eyes. No.
Well, and on top of that, Chase, so another question I'm sure a lot of people have that I have is, how are they going to pay people back? What if the crypto they have has this much VeChain because there's an insane amount, they didn't give out that much, but someone had $50,000 in USDC. However, Voyager gave out all their USDC to Three Arrows Capital.
I think
are they going to have to sell their VeChain to then get more USDC? I mean, it's going to be a mess, bro. It's going to be a mess.
It's going to be a complete mess, and I don't envy the court or the people who have to figure this out. But I think, I thought we got a big answer when they sent you guys, what they had for his claims, and they were in crypto. So which means, to me, they're probably going to try to stay with that method of, we owe you this much, but it's not going to be, if you had 10 VeChains or whatever it is, we can give you 2.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Do you think that a good way or an option for them to do this would be to go down like the market cap? Like, Bitcoin is the biggest, of course, right? So we're going to try to make people whole that had Bitcoin. Then once we do that, we're going to move down and we're going to go to Ethereum. And then we're going to move down and we're going to move down into the smaller market caps, because I just don't see another way of, like, again, VeChain at number 30 on CoinMarketCap, or something that was so low that, like, there's $100 million in this entire market cap. Who's going to buy it? Are they going to make those people whole again? Do you think, like, that's a good method of going, like, top down of market cap? What do you? I mean, it's so who knows, but
it's hard to tell. But my assumption would be this: you're all gonna get a pro rata share no matter what kind you had on there. So my guess is you're probably going to get, the easiest way for them to do is just convert it to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets X amount in Bitcoin. This is what you get back.
yeah, it's gonna make people mad.
But
or they convert it to stablecoin.
I mean, that because
And
that's
yeah, or FTT tokens or
that's
something
gonna be
like that.
That's going to be a question: is if you get down to 40, 50 different kinds of crypto, they're not going to. I wouldn't think. I don't know. The bankruptcy court will let them. Oh, you were smart enough to have Bitcoin, so you get the most money.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Like I don't think a court would approve that. I think they're going to say, Joe had 2% of what was on there, so he's going to get 2% of whatever we get back. How that looks, I don't know yet, because it's kind of unprecedented in this kind of bankruptcy. Which obviously there's a couple. I think Celsius is another one that's got going on too.
So let's be honest though. Whatever happens over the next month, 2 months, whatever it is, this is going to set some serious precedent going forward in this space because this ain't never happened before.
This is an issue of first impression, yeah.
So this is going to be big time, whatever happens, and we're going to be with you guys. If you guys would for us, like I said, it's very important to us, really. Hit the like button. It shares it with more people. Even if they don't subscribe to the Crypto Boys, that's fine, whatever. But it at least gives people an idea of what they can do with their money. They're serious. Everybody here serious about their money, serious about their crypto. They want as much back as possible, and I feel like we do a pretty good job of giving you guys and talking through the actual ideas of what's happening. So liking the video is the easy, free way to just get it out to more people and letting them know what's going on. Anything else you want to add? Anything else in the comments that we need to bring up, Joe?
I think we're good, other than people thinking that Shiba Inu is a good purchase.
Joe says Shiba Inu. Nah, we probably leave that one. We probably leave that one. You guys can do what you want. You guys are big boys and girls, but we're gonna leave the sheeps for other people. So going forward, Chase, we're gonna have you back on several more times. But any last final moments? Anything that we didn't cover that you think is important to do?
I mean, not really. Keep paying attention to the Stretto because that's really. I mean, I get that there's it's kind of it gets kind of dense with some of the stuff that they're talking about, but that's where you're going to see the approvals from the court. That's where you're going to get the judges' opinions. Now, some of them may try to be non-precedent binding, like the last ruling we got. We talked about the judge was very careful to say this is not precedent binding. Don't go using this ruling to decide what you're going to do in the future. But pay attention to that, and. Don't expect your crypto to be back to you by Thanksgiving or anything like that. Don't put like a hard line like, I expect end of the year. They're too unpredictable, and with 3 Arrows Capital, really I think that's going to be a year's process, not a month's process, to figure out that whole mess.
So at a very minimum, you're telling people don't start setting expectations. If you are, set a realistic one. If you get back, whatever, it is what it is. Hopefully Sam Brakeman-Fried, because he can do the right thing, and maybe he does pay a little bit more. Maybe he gives a little bit more shares. Maybe he just does something to help us out a little bit more. Who knows?
I mean, we talked about some of the ways he could incentivize people to keep it on the platform, and he could do that. I mean, there are ways to, maybe without him, losing a bunch of money, he could do that just to. Because, I mean, okay, if he does that and he takes a $50 million haircut, but it appeases all the customers and they leave it on there, he'll make that money back.
Absolutely. He should definitely get a haircut.
I mean, he does. Looks like he's the Jeffrey Dahmer fan club guy. Like he's running that stuff.
All right, guys. So that is all we have for today. We know how big the Voyager news has been for all of you guys. If you would for us, again, like the video. It just helps. Just click the like button. Other than that, I think that's all we've got to cover. If you guys have questions for us or Chase and you're coming here later and you missed this live, that's fine. Put them below. We can always ask Chase. We can write back to you as quick as we can. If we missed something, which I'm sure we did, there's a million things that you can talk about. This could go on for hours. Just let us know and we'll try to help you guys out. But as always, guys, we do appreciate you rocking with the fittest crypto channel on YouTube, and we're out.